Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, Attorney Kim Hegwood of Your Legacy Legal Care, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and my very special guest today is Tracee Seals. Good morning.
Good morning, Kim. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, this is a really important topic. We're going to talk today about the challenges that LGBT seniors face. And so if you're okay, we're just going to kind of jump in. And let's kind of talk about those. What are the challenges that LGBTQ seniors face when aging?
So what we have experienced in our agency since our inception in 2020, some of the challenges that they have been facing is when they have to transition into residential centers or nursing home centers, whereas they haven't had the opportunity to kind of grasp the situation that's happening, and also some of those societal norms that they were having that they were experiencing once they went into the center. But how can they acclimate themselves from identifying as being an LGBT community and then having to not disclose what they are once they go into a senior center or nursing home, whereas it's not recognized there.
Okay, so I'm going to throw you off a minute.
Sure.
So if someone is LGBTQ and they go into a facility, are you saying that they don't tell somebody that that's who they are?
Exactly, because they feel as if they're going to be discriminated against, especially individuals that are in trans in nature, because a lot of nursing home centers have not been properly trained on how to deal with LGBT seniors coming into their facilities. And then you have to also understand that a lot of individuals who work in nursing home facilities and residential centers, they are very culturally diverse. And in their cultures, some instances, that's not accepted in their country. So when LGBT seniors go into nursing homes, they feel as if they have to go back into the closet.
Oh, well, that's a shame. So I guess that makes their experience a whole lot different. Can you tell our listeners how it makes their experience different?
Absolutely. So you see them a little bit more withdrawn and even participating in certain senior activities. Their ADLs, which is adult daily living tasks. You see that they are kind of going to a depressive state when they have to do their ADLs, especially if they're in the trans community. If they identify as a woman, you have discrimination against them because they still have their male parts. So they become depressed, withdrawn, even suicidal.
Oh, that's terrible. So I'm taken because of this, that's how y'all, started. So talk to our listeners about the services that in Houston that are specifically for the aging LGBT community.
Absolutely. So the Montrose Center has done a very good job of providing services and also partnering with agencies such as ours, SPRI, and even Hatch, which is the young teens center that they have there. So our agency, LGBT Council on Aging, we provide services just for senior communities and advocacy for LGBT seniors. So what we do is we provide culture sensitivity training and also competency training for LGBT senior living centers and residential centers. And then SPRI, which is seniors preparing for rainbow years at Montrose Center, they also provide services such as getting seniors out of the house, food services, as well as board games and things that they can be in their community as senior living professionals.
So are you finding that this is helping?
Yes, because in the state of Texas, has not been a lot of resource for LGBT seniors. So it was incumbent upon agencies such as ours to provide those resources, and also to partner with different individuals from a legal standpoint as well. Because if a senior was in a what we call a May-December romance, if they went into a facility that was 55 and up, where their partner couldn't come with them. And a lot of times partners actually serve as caregivers. So we had to find, advocate for ways, how can we keep these individuals together? And then we also found there was a legal source that could be provided to them so that their partners can move in those facilities with them as well.
So your organization is doing some awesome things right now. So you're offering, I believe, healthcare and corporate training. Can you tell our listeners about that?
Absolutely. So healthcare and corporate training is something that is very paramount. We have in our organization social workers. We have individuals who work with us who have doctorates, psychotherapists, and these individuals help us to kind of do our training curriculum, if you will, so that we can just go to the senior service providers for seniors, as well as in healthcare providers, to let them know individuals who are going to be approaching senior living community age are transitioning there. We have to prepare them just not only physically, but mentally, and also prepare those individuals who will be providing those services at the senior living facilities as well. So what we do is we will go in there, we'll ask them kind of a pre-questionnaire. How many LGBT seniors do you think you have residing here? And you would disbelieve so many of the individuals who we've come across that they're like, oh, we have none. Are you sure about that? Have you gone to their rooms? Have you spoken to them during the intake process? So by doing this pre-questionnaire, we're able to identify that, okay, they need to have some type of cultural sensitivity and competency training so that they can, one, identify that they do have seniors. Two, how do you treat them in an ethical way? And then three, how do you also help advocate for them and give them senior services as well?
Sounds like a big job, girl.
It is a lot of work. When we first started, our agency was started in 2020, right at the end of COVID, because we did identify that there were a lot of individuals who needed our services. And just think about restarting in 2020, what was everyone doing for over a decade now? And we wanted to be very intentional in our approach, but we also more so wanted to make sure that we were, and our intentionality was more so of an educational factor. We didn't want to press upon any ideology on anyone, but we wanted to make sure that we were intentional in training and giving people a broad spectrum understanding of what LGBT seniors face and how individuals who were not in the community to be an ally.
Yeah, and that's important. And so I think as we age, I don't know that people realize how much of the things that we, love and support and the things that are around us help enhance our quality of life. So when you have to, when you don't have something that's very important to you, it makes it a whole lot more difficult. And so what can family caregivers do to help their LGBT senior?
So what family caregivers can do to help their LGBT seniors is just help them to find those resources when they are transitioning to go into a living facility, or just even if they're transitioning to move into with their children. Keep them involved as much as possible with different resources. Like I mentioned earlier with SPRI, It's kind of like an adult daycare for seniors or a party place for seniors that are in the LGBT community. Also, have these conversations with them, check in with them mentally, especially if they lost a partner. If they have any type of communicable disease like HIV/AIDS, make sure that they're getting to their appointments. Make sure that they are taking their medication. But more so, it's that mental aspect and that helping them to be with the longevity aspect of helping them to just be a happy LGBT senior. And also for them, find information for them to help them with coping. What makes you happy if you're a caregiver for a parent? Do you need a break? There's respite care for seniors. So just helping them with finding resources. We have social workers again that can help talk with them or help them with any type of care or counseling that they may need. Because we do have a lot of family members that call us, whether they're going to take care of their family member or transition them to a community that need our help as well.
So I guess here's the $1 million question. And so what can we do as a community to help these people?
That's a great question. And thank you for that. As a community, advocacy work is the biggest thing that we can do in stewardship. It doesn't cost you anything. You can tell people about services, or you can help someone find services. You can let them know that, you're a voice to listen to them. You can, as a community, just participate in any type of pride event that may be out there. You can also donate to organizations, such as ours or SPRI or Laura Harrington or the Montrose Center, so that we can continue to put services on for LGBT seniors and just continue to do the work that we're doing.
And well, that sounds like some very awesome ideas. And so let me ask you, if somebody wants to volunteer, if they want to help, if they just want to touch base with you to see what they can do in maybe their community, how do they find you?
Absolutely. So our website is www.lgbtcounselonaging.org, or you can send us an email at info@lgbtcounselonaging.org, or just give us a call. My number is 832-739-2902. We have services at the Montrose Center that they can reach us as well, or they can come to one of our informational sessions so they can learn about what we're doing for LGBT seniors in the community.
Perfect. And so I just wanted to thank you, Tracee, so much for being on the show today, because we have those, in my office, I have those clients, and we all do. We have those people that we love, and we want to make sure that, as they age, that their quality of life is the best that we can give them. And so I thank you so much for all that you do and the people that you help. And thanks so much for being on the show today.
And thank you so much for having me. It was great speaking with you and taking an interest in what we do for LGBT seniors. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.